Well, holy cow. This week, 1.2 billion. Wow. That'd be nice. I have to admit that when I saw on the news on Tuesday or Wednesday that the lottery had gone over $1 billion, I thought I should buy myself a ticket. I could use that. And then, of course, about 20 minutes later, and it really was that quickly, I read the gospel for this Sunday, and it was like I heard God's voice, "You fool." I was like, noted. Sorry, man. I did not. Though I wanted to, I did not buy a ticket. The other thing that happened in the news this week related to money was the Arizona Cardinals re-signed their quarterback, gave him an extension for $250 million. Not quite $1 billion, but it's still a pretty nice chunk of change. Yeah, Jacob, that could be you one day. Well, I don't know if you follow it very much like I do. As you know, I'm obsessed with sports, but there is this controversy related to this article with Kyler Murray because there was this clause added to the contract that's never been in a contract before. And the clause was this, that Kyler Murray needed to spend 4 hours studying every week on his own, away from the team, independent study. That was an agreement in the contract. That's never been agreed to before in an NFL contract before. And what happened, and the reason why it was controversial, was because it did not make anyone look good, right? So what happened is we discovered that for the quarterback, the reason why the team did this was he likes video games, and he plays video games a lot. And they're worried that if they don't put this clause in there, he won't study outside of work and make himself ready for the game on Sunday. But then it didn't look good for the team because people are saying, well, why did you give this guy $250 million if you're worried about his commitment to the team, right? Lord have mercy. So it's almost like, you know, they're kind of like the Cardinals are like Jesus in a sense to Kyler Murray. Hey, man, you're putting your treasure in the wrong thing. We want you to put your treasure in the right thing, which is us. We want you to be focused on us. Well, I think it's interesting for us because we know this, we do this. We can put our treasure in the wrong thing and not on the things that God cares about. I remember my first year at Our Lady of Consolation in Rockford, and I was talking to this gentleman, elderly gentleman, and he was divorced. And he said to me, "Father, I'm divorced. My children don't talk to me. All I have is a lot of money." And he said, "I would trade everything. I would get rid of all my money if I could have my family back." I thought, wow. And you know what? I hope that somewhat happened for him. I don't really know for sure how that ended for him, but the reality is he recognized he put his treasure in the wrong thing, and he was dealing with those consequences later. We do the same thing. It's important for us to look at what are the things that we are taking possession of that really don't matter in the eyes of God. Well, there's this wonderful story about what this looks like. There's this young woman, her name is Shelley Pennefather. Anyone heard of her before? No one did at the last Mass either. That's okay. Shelley Pennefather was this basketball player in the 90s, early 90s. She played for Villanova. She graduated there in 4 years, and I believe this still is true, that after 4 years of college basketball, she had the record for the most points ever scored in Villanova history, and that includes the men. Well, she graduated and she went to play professional basketball in Japan, and everything was going well for her. She was playing the sport she loved, she had money, she had a wonderful boyfriend. And then she called her boyfriend, and she said, "I need to meet with you." And he said, "What's up?" And she said, "Well, we're going to have our last meeting ever." And it wasn't because she was going to die. It was because she was going to become a nun in the Poor Clares. And not only was she going to be a nun, she was going to be cloistered, which meant that she was going to be praying for the world in a cloistered community, and she wouldn't be able to interact with us and interact with him. Well, the cool thing of it is the guy became a priest himself, so that was easy discernment. Yeah. But what I love about this story, Shelley Pennefather's name really now is Sister Rosemary. And what I love about it is when she was a nun for 25 years, the gift that they get for 25 years is they get to come out of the cloister, see their family, hug them, and she was able to give ESPN a quote for this article that they wrote about her. And here's what she said. She said, "I love my life. I love it. And I wish that you could experience it. I live with so much peace. You may think that I'm underliving, but I am living life to the full." Why? Because she was living her life completely for God. What happens for us sometimes is we live our lives for other things. Next big house, next great car, investment for the future, our retirement. All those things in some ways we need to do, but they're not what we live for, right? What we live for is Jesus Christ. And so she is a great example of that for us. You know, I think about it this way. It's smart for all of us, including me, to plan for retirement. We have to do it. The earlier you do it, the better. Because the earlier you invest money and you get a return on that investment, you start to make money on your earnings as well. And praise Jesus, you can take care of yourself in retirement. Well, maybe the message from Christ for us this weekend is, instead of thinking about compound interest in our financial life, is to think about compound love, how love builds on itself. As we receive God's love, and as we learn, as Jesus has been telling us over and over again the past several weeks, love God and love neighbor. The more that we receive God's love and give ourselves in love to one another, the more that we really experience this life of love that Sister Rosemary talked about. We want to be rich in what matters to God. We don't want to be rich in what matters to the world, because what matters is truly that love and friendship with God. And that's what matters for us.